There are some moments that are higher leverage than others. They are worth more, so to speak. They have more influence over your day. And if you can just identify those moments and use them to nudge yourself into a slightly different direction, it can ripple out to create a remarkable shift in the rest of your day. Hello, and welcome to The Joy Within, where we're eliminating stress and negativity, one thought at a time. I'm Kyle Greenfield, and I'll be your guide as we explore how to be calm, confident, and happy in our crazy modern world. Join us each week as we dive into some of the biggest ideas in spirituality and personal development. We'll learn what it takes to gain control of your own mind, master your mood, and navigate the many ups and downs along the way. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started so you can become the calm, confident, and happy person you truly deserve to be. Hey guys, before we get started, I just want you to know I've published a video version of today's topic on YouTube. It's part of my new Stillness Sunday series. It includes a guided exercise and just gets at the topic in a slightly different way. Just search The Joy Within on YouTube to go check that out. Now let's dive in. Today, I'm going to be talking about the power of awakening into joy, because I find that there are a few high-leverage moments during the day that if we can master and win the battle for our thoughts during these high-leverage moments, it becomes way easier to stay centered and at peace as we go about the rest of our day. But before we get into that, I want to guide you through a quick thought exercise. So you might want to just take a minute to come back to your breath, find center for a second, just let these words flow over you. Then we'll dive into the topic. So just breathe for a second and reflect. I love the feeling of peace in the morning. I love allowing a sense of ease to wash over me, and I love resting into that ease. Even when life feels busy, even when I have a lot to do, I can always come back to that sense of peace. I can always feel peace within me. I can always bring it forward with me into my day, even as I am going about my routine, even as I am working or running errands or doing chores or whatever it is I have to do today, because I know that my peace is not about my action or my inaction. It is not about lounging all day by the pool, although that's nice at times. Peace is about the well-being that is always present in this moment. Now there is a sense of peace available to me. Now it is here. Now. And again. Now. And now. If we know that, then the game becomes simply choosing that peace, choosing to come back to it, to focus on it over and over again. And we can always do that. But practically, that doesn't always feel easy. When the mind is running, it doesn't feel like we can just step into that peace. So we have to practice. Practice helps us stack the odds in our favor, and there are some points in the day that provide the highest leverage for that. If we can win the game of peace at these high leverage moments, it tips the scales in our favor, and it makes us way more likely to stay with that peace longer and to come back to it more easily throughout the day. For me, I find that the most important time is first thing in the morning, immediately after waking up. I find that the first few thoughts I think, even before getting out of bed, wield tremendous influence over my day. If I think, oh my god, I slept 10 minutes late, I have so much to do, I'm never going to get through it all, that sets my day up to feel harried, overwhelming, and chaotic. If I think, I didn't sleep well, I'm tired, my back hurts, something like that, it sets me up to feel cranky. But if I can think softly, this feels nice. What a beautiful morning. Today's going to be a good day. Then that sets me up for a radically different type of day, doesn't it? I can feel grateful. I can feel at peace. I can feel ease. And I can come back to those states more easily throughout the day. So if we want to feel more peaceful during the day, it really helps if we can start the day from peace. The easiest way to do that, I find, is so simple. I wake up and immediately smile, and I think, thank you. I notice my breath, just for 1 or 2 breaths, and then I get up. That's it. It feels so natural, so effortless, and it sets me up to have a good day. Even just explaining this doesn't really do it justice, because I don't even consider this to be a process that I use. I don't try to smile. I don't think, okay, I have to remember to smile. Even just talking about it, even just the word smile sounds a bit forced to me, because I just allow it to happen. I just don't do anything to stop myself from smiling, and thus I smile. And if I'm smiling, I feel grateful. It just happens. Most mornings, I don't even specify anything that I'm grateful for. It's just a general idea. Just thank you. It's not to anyone. It's not about anything. Just thank you. If I start listing out 1,000 things that are going well for me, that's a more active technique. And again, first thing after waking up, I just want to allow it. I want it to be effortless. Because it is so easy, before any specific thoughts are that active. Just this very general thank you is enough. It just has to point me in the direction of well-being. It doesn't have to do anything. We don't have to do anything. And then the breath cements that feeling. It reinforces that simple, effortless sense of peace. All of this happens within the first 20 or 30 seconds of waking up. I don't even think about it. I don't force it. I just let it happen. Now, when you're first building this habit, when you're first playing with it, you do have to think more consciously about it. You have to remember to try to smile. You have to remember to try to think thank you, to try to just breathe for a moment. And that's okay. Most likely, your initial results won't be as strong. You might not be able to feel as peaceful as you would like. And that's okay too. Because if that's where you are, you just have to keep practicing, keep building the habit until it feels natural, effortless, and automatic. I think most likely, if you do this for a couple of days, you will notice some difference in how you feel. But even if you don't feel any result, you just have to trust that it is coming. Trust that you have the choice, simply to wake up and be peaceful. Hey guys, so I don't run outside ads or get sponsors for the podcast, which means I rely on you to help keep it going. The best way you can do that is to help spread the word. Leave a 5-star review, tell your friends, share it on social. I think we all know people who are struggling, and I know issues like stress and negativity can be hard to talk about, which makes sharing a link a really easy way to connect and tell someone you care. And if you find the podcast helpful, I promise you they will too. So do me a quick favor and think of 3 people you know who would benefit from this podcast and send them a link. That's it. Now, back to the show. Now, let's be honest, because some days the mind just goes off on its own. And that's okay, it happens. It happened to me earlier this week. I had a busy day, and I usually get up really early, but that day my wife had wanted to sleep in. So we'd set the alarm for 6, and that's really late for me. But I'd agreed, and I thought, you know what, I'll probably wake up earlier anyway. I didn't. So when I woke up at 10 to 6, I shot out of bed. And it was that feeling, like when you've overslept and are about to miss a flight. That's the level of energy, the intensity that I had. I just jumped up and my mind started sprinting forward. I started thinking things like, I can't believe it's so late. Can't believe my wife didn't let me set an alarm. She knows I have a lot to do. She always does this. She's not respectful of everything I have to do today. I mean, none of those thoughts are true. But for whatever reason, my mind just shot out of the gate with that. So I had to catch that. I had to reset. And I lost that first mini battle for peace. And that's okay, because it didn't take me long to catch those thoughts. It was pretty obvious that my mind was racing, and because it was still first thing in the morning, I still had a lot of leverage over those thoughts. They hadn't yet pulled me down to their level. So when that happens, my next line of defense is when I'm brushing my teeth. I don't know, there's just something about it. It naturally interrupts your thoughts a bit, and it's 2 minutes where you can't really do anything else anyway. So if the mind is spiraling, it's a great time to just start walking back some of those stories that it's telling you. You can say something like, it's okay, it's not a big deal, I'll figure it out. I mean, often the mind is running for no reason. On that morning for me, it was upset about literally just 10 or 20 minutes. So I just said to myself, is it worth letting those 20 minutes ruin my entire day? And the answer is no, obviously not. But I became crystal clear with myself about what was at stake. Because if I kept down that path of wild and crazy thoughts, if I were to stay mad, if I were to continue to feel harried and pressed for time, I would lose way more than 20 minutes. And I know that. So just asking that question, some version of, is this worth it? Is it worth feeling like this? Is it worth derailing my day? Was enough for me to reset. And this is the key. Is that because this is a high leverage part of the day, because those thoughts hadn't had time to become too active within me, they hadn't emotionally wrapped me in yet, it didn't take that much to just repoint myself in the right direction. And before I finished brushing my teeth, I had reactivated my foundation for peace, which I was then able to carry forward into the rest of my day. And that's the power of these high leverage moments. A few simple actions early on in the day can really set your day up for success, for peace and well-being. And I want to be clear that I think that anyone can do this. There is nothing particularly difficult about anything I just described. It's just about knowing that there are some moments that are higher leverage than others. They are worth more, so to speak. They have more influence over your day. And if you can just identify those moments and use them to nudge yourself into a slightly different direction, it can ripple out to create a remarkable shift in the rest of your day. The morning is the obvious one. The other two big ones, I think, are in the middle of the day, like at lunch, whenever you have a break, that gives you a chance to reset for the afternoon. And lastly, in the evening, just before you go to bed. To me, those are the big three: morning, noon, and night. It's not a magic cure. It's about stacking the odds in your favor so you can more easily choose to feel centered and at peace. Or you can choose to feel joyful or excited or whatever it is that you want to feel. But it becomes more and more of a choice if you can master those high leverage points of the day. So that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast. And like I said, I've got a video version of it on YouTube. Just search for The Joy Within. If you've liked this, please share it with someone that you care about. I really believe that we all have the ability to be joyful. And it just takes these little reminders, these little strategies to help us to remain clearer and more centered. So please pass this on. And if you want to go deeper, head over to thejoywithin.org, where I've got more trainings and guided exercises available. Thank you so much for your time, and wherever you are, know that I love you and I appreciate you. And I believe that together we can create a happier and more peaceful world. Thank you. Thanks for listening to today's episode. When you're ready to take a stand against the stress and negativity in your life, head over to thejoywithin.org, sign up, and choose the path that's right for you. When you join, you'll learn a simple process to activate your natural inner joy so you can regain control and become the calm, confident, and happy person you deserve to be. Visit thejoywithin.org to get started today. And if you enjoyed today's podcast, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone you love, because I think we can all use a little more joy in our crazy modern world.